So the South African e-hailing industry is seeing violence and intimidation against the drivers on platforms like Uber as well as Bolt. Drivers are forced to use the SHESHA app, and those who resist are subjected to extortion as well as illegal detention with fines ranging from 1,500 Rand to 15,000 Rand. For more on this and potential solutions, let's now speak to Siyabonga Hlabisa, who is the Western Cape E-Hailing Association spokesperson. Siyabonga, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us. First of all, what are some of the concerns that you have and what's happening in the industry?
Now, in the industry, I think there's been a lot of challenges when it's come to the traditional taxis, especially minibus taxis, with the attack and torturing of the e-hailing drivers. This has been something that we've been raising concern, and also we have met, especially with the different, especially in our province, also with Santaco, to address this matter and done a presentation. But as so far, there are still places where drivers are getting attacked daily basis. Yeah.
Is it true that you are being forced to convert to SHESHA?
On that one, not yet here, but I've had discussion with my colleagues, especially in our national team, on engaging on such things. They've been raising such concern also that in Joburg it's happening really, but in our province not yet, has not started. We not have engaged anything with SHESHA at the moment.
What are they telling you?
No, it's not yet about the SHESHA issue is not yet been addressed in our province, but especially in issues that are raised by other drivers on the concern that SHESHA is there, but also there's been intimidated and all of that, and they've been stopped on the road, and issues of being asked for fines, and some of them have been forced to use SHESHA. But we not promote such things as the e-hailing industry. I think we are independent, and we're willing to work with any stakeholders. But at this moment, we just want to say that anyone that want to promote their business, they should do it in the right way, as other apps have done so. And it must not be a force for the drivers to be forced to join any platform without with a correct way of engagement, because drivers are there. They have a choice to choose. That's why we're operating on Bolt and operating on Uber at the same time, because it's a choice.
Yeah, but wouldn't SHESHA also provide the same, that you can still be on all three platforms? You can be on Uber, you can be on Bolt, and also still be on SHESHA?
No, that one is very simple. It's the same thing. If they allow to do so, I think it's gonna be easy for the drivers, because obviously the only thing that we are against of is the fact that if there's been a torturing of the drivers, then it's a big issue. We've been raising the same concern that such thing with correct engagement, allow the drivers to operate wherever they want to operate, and it mustn't be any force that is been applied to any driver. The driver just have to feel free and operate the way they want to operate. That's why we keep on saying that, we are independent as a e-hailing. We have a choice to choose where we want to drive at any time.
Yeah, you did touch a bit on this a bit earlier on, but I want to go back to it, and that is the relationship between the e-hailing drivers as well as our traditional taxis. How would you describe that relationship? What is it like now? There were concerns that were raised in Gauteng specifically at some point as well, where drivers were being attacked. Soweto, there were major concerns, as well as in the Western Cape. But what's that relationship like now? Are you guys able to work with each other?
No, I'm not going to lie. I don't think we are having a good relationship. But also we have engaged with especially Santaco in our provincial level. And as I said earlier, that we have done the presentation, raised the concern. And also they raised their concern, because obviously their concern was the issue of, especially here in the Western Cape, that we as e-hailing drivers pick up on their ranks and all of that. But also they raised concern that some of the incidents that are happening, they are not aware of, because they are rank marshals that are deployed there. Sometimes they do the opposite of what they've told them to do. So especially at this current moment, we even here in Cape Town, we have the issue of matches playing. prominent where drivers have been stopped in Belleville and other areas. We've been raising this concern and also trying to find a way of having engagement. But other than that, I think the most important thing that is the law enforcement need to take its place, especially to assist us as e-hailing industry to report these cases to them, and they must take these cases very serious. And also, I don't think those roadblocks that have been happening in each and every street, even when we live here. There are roadblocks now that are made by the taxi industry, which are not supposed to be. I don't know how the law authorities allow such things to happen, because also they're distracting even the public people to move around, So those are very big concerns. At this current moment, we don't have a proper relationship. Hopefully, after the president signing the bill, maybe we'll start to sit down and engage with them proper, because I think maybe they're going to start to recognize us proper.
Yeah, the issue that was also raised before by the e-hailing drivers was around the issuing of permits, that you're not getting the permits from the city of Cape Town, or the city of Cape Town was slow with the issuing of permits. That's a similar concern that was raised by the taxis as well. Have those been dealt with?
Yeah, on that issue, I think we had a very good partnership to handle such issues, especially here in the Western Cape. But, it wasn't handled in the proper way, especially when it comes to the issue of permit. In Cape Town, we are still struggling at this current moment because obviously we have more than almost 7,000 drivers that are operating every day in the e-hailing industry. And the city of Cape Town almost gave us almost 2,000, I think it was 2,600 and something permit. And it didn't even reach the e-hailing industry on its own. And those permits were not made for specific e-hailing, were made for just for public, anyone who wanted to apply. So that's why we joined in hand with Santaco on the issue of empowerment, because for us it was a concern. Same concern on minibus taxis, it was same concern to us as e-hailing industry.
Now, considering that you have that particular partnership to deal with the issues around permits, why aren't you able to come around the table and then deal with the issues that you have in relation to how the e-hailing services are operating and how the minibus taxis are operating? And we did invite Santaco. Rebecca Phala did agree to speak to us this morning. However, they decided to pull out of the interview. But why can't you do something similar like you have with how to deal with the permits?
No, we have tried that. We have tried to engage with them. And as I said earlier, that they asked us to bring a presentation. But also the biggest concern, I think it wasn't for a provincial Santaco to take a decision on continuously partnership with us. But also it was not a matter of partnership. We're just trying to explain to them the situation. But hopefully those engagement must take place, and so that we can discuss further about these issues that we are facing in the industry. We hopefully that we will continue to engage with them and also engage with the right authorities to make sure that we have a good sort of working relationship amongst ourselves. But we also continuously, as the e-hailing industry, that we are open, our hands are open to engage on such issues so that we can resolve these matters, especially on the attack of the drivers.
Thank you so much for your time. That is Siyabonga Hlabisa, who is the chairperson of the e-hailing association in the Western Cape, speaking to us about some of the concerns that they have with the relationship with the Santaco, which represents the minibus taxis, the traditional taxis that we have in the country, and also the concerns around the issuing of permits. Again, we did invite Santaco to be part of the conversation. They confirmed, but they pulled out at the 11th hour.